awareness and sustaining continued public pressure are the only ways we can make any long term change. Legal action alone will not make much of a difference. We are quite clear about it.
What really caused Bhopal?
Well, I will not get into the specific plant design and how water flowed from this place to that place. But in our view, what really caused Bhopal is a combination of forces arising from the high technology industry, part of a model of development, and an extreme sense of profit motive. Take the concrete case of Bhopal. The cost cutting program instituted by the management led to the closure of the refrigeration plant several months before the disaster, and MIC storage tanks must be maintained near 0 degree centigrade. The maintenance of the plant, changes in its walls and instrumentation panels and those kinds of things, the level of skilled and trained staff, all these are directly linked to the profit motive. One does not want to do all these because they cost money and therefore reduce your profit. Now, whatever caused the runaway reaction of MIC, whether a small ingress of water or a large ingress of water, the fact that cost cutting program had ensured that refrigeration plant was not running, had ensured that technically competent manpower was not in enough number, that valves and instruments were not fully functioning, ensured that there was no way that this runaway reaction could be reduced or controlled. And finally, the very design of the plant, the very design of the scrubber, the very design of the flare tower cannot handle runaway MIC reaction. So, essentially therefore, what we are seeing is a phenomena where a large corporation, be it multinational or national, builds a plant without focusing enough attention on the occupational environmental health and safety issues, does cost cutting in between to ensure continued profits, and a regulatory mechanism, legislations and implementing machinery which is not strong enough or effective enough to keep an eye on these corporations. And finally, a model of development which we are all using across the world, where these hazardous chemicals and processes and products are being produced, stored, transported and consumed. I can't understand why in this world we need MIC based pesticide production. In fact, I can't even understand why we need pesticide in such large doses to sustain the population of this world. So, those in our view are the forces which have caused Bhopal, and because they are forces which operate everywhere, they are forces which operate in Appalachia, they are forces which operate in Africa, in Latin America, in Europe, in Asia. A Bhopal can happen anywhere. There isn't any doubt in our minds.
The company gave the impression that it might have happened because water was placed in the line by one of the workers, or deliberate sabotage.
Union Carbide is capable of saying anything. I don't think the workers, any worker anywhere in the world would do this kind of thing. we think that our lives are more important and workers don't think about their lives. And what is the motivation to do that? These are all ways to deflect attention away from Union Carbide.
Had there been problems there before? Had the workers experienced problems there?
Yeah, there have been a series of incidents within that Bhopal plant, and as recently as early 82, there has been a leakage of MIC which affected scores of workers and also the residents around it. It did not kill anybody at that time, the leakage was not large enough, but it had happened. There have been instances of other gas leaking. There have been an example of a worker dying by leakage of phosgene gas in the same plant. The journalists a couple of years ago had warned that Bhopal would be wiped out. The trade union of employees in Bhopal plant of Union Carbide had asked the management, had sent written petitions to the state government and the central government to institute impartial investigation of health and safety procedures, design and practices, because it was affecting the health of workers and residents. So there was enough warning. It didn't happen overnight automatically. A set of forces made it happen in such large scope, but there was all the signs of this happening. And there are all the signs of this happening elsewhere. We see it every day.
I think we're fine. No, I think.
Thank you.
Anything else you wanted to say? Okay, sufficient.
Is enough.